Hello campers, this is Key of W with Islands of Insight. Today is a very special and exciting day. Something amazing has happened. What is it, you ask? Did I lose my virginity? No, something even more exciting than that has happened. We have the next version of the offline restored mod, version 1.5. And the reason I'm excited for this, I'm just going to read you from the change log I have open in my other monitor. Trust me, bro. So, this mod adds some really cool things, one of which is a new enclave with a new logic grid mechanic. So that's right, an entirely new area of the game that I don't know where it is. I have not been following along where it's been placed. Somewhere on this map is a new enclave that I'm going to go find. Might be one of these things, I don't know. This one maybe? I don't know what that is. There's a new enclave. There are 2 new quests. There is a huge new cluster of previously unused but official grids. There is a new power-up called a puzzle radar. So it spawns around the hubs and it helps find remaining puzzles that we haven't found yet, which is going to be super helpful as I start getting toward full completion. And the clusters, so that's the congruency puzzles here and the logic puzzles up there. Clusters are going to prioritize spawning the unsolved puzzles first rather than the ones we've seen before. There's a bunch of other smaller things that, are going to be nice quality of life improvements. So the Shady Wildwoods Match 3 challenge time limit's been increased. We already did that one and I cheated for it because it's really, really terrible. It's just this Match 3 challenge round, just awful. They increased the time limit of that. So maybe if they were to keep increasing the time limit, it would be a challenge that's reasonable now. The new Sentinel Stone spawned in Verdant Glen kind of messages are back. That's... Oh, sorry, I forgot what that meant for a second. I just read it, just dispassionately. Quote, new Sentinel Stone spawned in Verdant Glen, unquote. Kind of messages are back. So now we might see, we'll see if it works out properly, we might see messages appear on the screen telling us when a new puzzle has spawned in. Entering quests no longer hides UI temporarily, which is the thing I've been complaining about a lot of times. Temple of Infinite Rings now tracks unique ring solves. I've been kind of ignoring that temple because after we did the main thing for the Temple of Infinite Rings, it just kind of is annoying. But now it's showing that there are 341 puzzles in there we can do. So we can head there and try to solve all of them. And I believe it's going to prioritize ones we haven't solved yet. Clusters have their own in-game tracking. So now we should be able to, congruency cluster. So 67 out of 136. So previously I had to open my save stats file to see this, and you couldn't see it. You just had to trust me on this, that we've solved roughly a half of those. So there's that set. The myopia set's going to be up here. We've done more than half of these. There's not as many of the myopia ones. And then we have the clusters. Underclude cluster, so the stupid puzzles, these ones here, and the ascension cluster. There's a lot of these ones we can do. So all of that is now being tracked. Music grids now use 0.5 worth of foresight bar per hint, so you can use more foresight hints on music grids. I don't need to because I'm perfect at music grids. I've never made a mistake ever. In the videos, don't check, please. Increased sound volume of the music grid puzzles. That's something I complained about once. They're very quiet. They are no longer as quiet. They turned up the volume. Hidden cube sound volume range, Hidden cube sound volume, but not range, can now be customized. I'm not going to customize that yet, maybe, if ever. I'm doing okay with hidden cube volume. All the mirability from Enclave and Quest are now properly tracked on the UI, so apparently there was a bug with that I didn't know about, but it's happening. There's some other fixes like Eye of the Needle Enclave, which we already did over here somewhere. Was this the one? No. It was this? Yeah, Eye of the Needle is here. It awards an extra mirabilis accidentally, but we didn't deal with that. The flow orbs save your time more properly because they save the time right now, but if I started a new game, it would reset all my best times. So now the game keeps track of the best score I've ever had, regardless if I restart the game. There's some other just minor fixes. Some puzzles don't properly store something, or visual progress bar is wrong. And there's some fixes for some save file corruption, things like that. But just a ton of new stuff. I'm most excited about new enclaves, the new puzzle radar item, and getting the game to prioritize spawning in puzzles I haven't solved, rather than solving a bunch, putting in a bunch more that I have solved so I can find them more easily. Now, I don't know where the enclave is offhand, so I'm going to have to look on this map to see if I can find something. This is the myobia cluster, so it doesn't matter. So everything here, so if you see on this the diamond, the gold diamond, it means not only have I finished the enclave, but I've solved every single puzzle in it. Whereas the shifting of phase, I still haven't solved every puzzle in it, because to be honest, I'm just too scared of those last shifting mosaics. They're too hard for me. But this just has a green check mark. We've solved the main quest in that enclave. So what I'm going to look for is places without a check mark or a diamond. Now this one isn't a real enclave. There was just one puzzle here. We could go to see if something was added, but that was just the final main game puzzle. This is also a thing that just doesn't have any. A warped perspective. This is one. This is a new one. I believe this must be the one that was added. There's also going to be 2 new quests, but I don't know where those are. So I also don't want to look it up. Like, most of the stuff I've done up to this point, like the main enclaves I did in the first few episodes of this, I'd done before because I'd played the game when it first came out. This I've never done. I'm going to be walking into this blind. So you know what? Let's make this today's thing. I'm going to go to the warped perspective. And then maybe we find other quests, maybe we don't. Honestly, I just think it's super cool that this game continues to have updates and things like that from a dedicated team of fans, because, I don't know, this game, it shouldn't have bombed as hard as it did. I think it's a really good puzzle game. I understand some of it was because of the way it was designed, like the always online stuff really did not make the fans happy. But I don't think it was fair, really, that the game did as poorly as it did. It should have, I mean, yeah, the always online needed to go away, but it was just unfortunate that the game didn't take off. So it's super cool that it has a fan base willing to pick up the slack and just basically for free. I mean, unless you want to go and donate. So the person that I'm getting this from, hold on, I gotta go back to my Discord here. Rushin, Rushin, is the person who is posting the updates to this mod. I believe the main developer for it, but that entire team putting this stuff together is just incredible, and you should, you know, join the Discord for Islands of Insight and or find some other fan pages and give your thanks to these people, because holy crap, this is so amazing. So let's do this. I'm going to start here so I can get the one. It also looks like these orbs have had their graphics changed. Does it look like that to anybody else? Yeah, instead of just being, there's like the black stuff on the ball. Anyway, so I'm looking for further along. Warped perspective is going to be this way. That looks new. I see it. See it over here? That's never been there before. That's so flipping cool. I wonder if the original developer is in any way involved with these new updates. Like, on the one hand, there's no news of that being the case, and I wouldn't be surprised if the original developer is a little burnt out on the original because, you know, the reception was poor enough that they're probably not super excited to jump back in, but it's possible that they did, and that would be super cool if they were able to do that. This should be how this works out. This is gonna need to connect there. Anyway, let's see this new one. We definitely have the Mirabilis. Unforeseen connections. Unveil an entirely new dimension. Let's see how this goes. Warped perspective. Unforeseen connections. So right away I see this. Solve both pillars of insight. Find 4 hidden archways. Solve 16 logic grids. Solve 4 matchboxes. And complete 3 glide rings courses. Alright, well, let's start. Oh, that is not the one that's out here, though. Is that like... Who knows? I'm not gonna start, like, examining every single crevice in here until later. But if this is an enclave created by the superfans, maybe even the original developer, putting in some things, whatever, I bet it's going to be pretty well designed. That's my guess. Left and right edges are connected. That means... I don't know what that means. Left and right edges are connected. Does that mean it loops, like it wraps? Yes! Look at that! It's an infinitely looping, but it's not top to bottom. Infinitely looping right and left, which means this connects to the 3. Oh my god. So this connects. This 3 connects over here. Left and right edges are connected. So we have to do this. That's going to connect the 2. Because if we... This is going to overload it. That's the 2. So I think... All dark regions have area 2. I did not even look at the rules. So this connects to here. That... We have to do this. Okay. So all dark regions have area 2. Ooh boy. I thought for a second this was much too easy of a puzzle. That's overloading it. This overloads. Okay, I have done something horribly wrong. Okay, this version is breaking my brain. So we definitely have to do this here. This definitely has to go there. Now this 2 has to connect over here, and we have to lock it down. And then these can't connect to each other. This is connecting to the one all the way on the far left, so we have to block it off here. Yep. This 2 must come out this way, since these are here. Yeah, it just seems like I'm doing this again. Oh, no, I don't need to block these. Just this one here needs to be blocked off. Not this one. This can be a white cell, so we can do this here. That was my mistake. And then that connects over. That is wild. This is really making it... Okay, left and right edges are connected, so these should be fine. Dark regions of area 3. Okay, hold on. So this can't possibly be the case. These do have to be white. Those have to be like that. And then we connect here. Okay, 0 this way, but since they wrap around, it means it all has to be white. Oh, damn. So this 3 black squares to the right just means 3 black squares on this row, because all of this is to the right of the 3. 2, this is much easier. Connect all dark cells, okay. 6 white cells, that is required here. We have to connect all dark cells. There's going to be 3 dark cells in this row. There's going to be 3 white cells in this row entirely. Both of these have to be dark cells. 2 white cells. Already have those. I've got all 3 dark cells. We have to connect these. Oh, dark cells can connect around that. Yeah, you got me there. This has to only have 3 white cells. Let's see what we would do from here. Oh, this has to have both dark cells, so all of these are the light cells. This must connect out, because we don't connect down and up, just left and right edges. And then we need 3 dark cells. We have them already, because this connects over here. Ooh, the wrap mechanic is going to hurt. Left and right edges are connected. So, if this was a light... Oh, but it would also go that direction. No light squares. Connect all light cells. So if this was a dark cell, what would I do? Maybe I can start with this, because whatever this is, everything else has to be like so. Because we have to connect all light cells, this has to be a dark cell, because a 1 has to be completely isolated. So we know that is the case here. This can't be a light cell because it will overload. The 2 must be a dark cell. Since the light cells must be connected, this light cell must go to the right, because only left and right edges wrap, not top and bottom. I wonder if we're going to see top and bottom wrapping. This space after the 2 can't be a dark cell because it'll overload. So the 2 is complete. This 3 could be light or dark. We don't know yet. If it was light, we would have to block it off entirely. This don't make white squares pattern. I don't know why that's there right now. know where I'm going from here. Because, like, I don't need the light cell to connect down here, because if this is a light cell, these two connect over here, and it's just fine. This is what would really bother us. So, let's look into if this is light. We would have to go through here and then down. There'd be no getting around it. This would have to be light and come out this way, which would force this to be something. This would, the 4 would wrap around, and then would we just, that's where the square rule is coming in. Okay, that's how it's done. That is an interesting rule. So where are we here? That's the new enclave. This is the spot. So let me see, is the other one down this way? This is an interesting little... Those are not the same. Okay. That is from... Oh my goodness. This is gonna be wild. Oh hey, there's an archway right here. What the... What? Where... Okay, so I'm at that side. And I'm at the other side. Okay, we're just warping across to an... to there. Okay. So that's where the warp is going. So just warping back and forth. Why on earth? Oh, this place is going to be a lot. This is going to warp us? Yeah, it's going to warp us to somewhere over here, maybe. Okay, I'm just rather confused. So now that I don't know where I am, where is the other... No, how did I get in? How did I go? Where did I come from? Where did I come from, Cotton Eye Joe? There. This is where we came from. Hey, that is... No. Oh my goodness, they're hiding these things all over the place. So where's the other... Oh dear. Where's the other pillar of insight? Do I go around the side and just see what I find? This is going to be one of those where there's nothing hidden outside. It is literally just inside this building. Damn, the amount of work that went into this is just impressive. Thank heaven for mods, keeping this game alive. Yeah, there's not even a back entrance to tell it. Okay, this is just... I wonder if there's anything on top. No, it isn't. It's just an enclosed space. They really said no cheating here. Alright. We gotta do it legit. Honestly, all I was looking for was a way... Oh. All I was looking for was a way to find the other pillar quickly. That... Isn't that the symbol outside? No, it's not. I have no idea what to do with these yet, so... I'm just looking for the pillar of insight, my friend. So is there a way to get there? Is it up on top of this? There's a lot of matchboxes here. It's probably just on top of this here. Yeah, it's up here. All opposing edges are connected. That's what I thought was going to happen. Now we wrap left and right and bottom to top. So no dominoes here. Okie dokie. So this, I think, is actually seeing all directions. Like, this is 6, this is 10. So I think we have to fully wrap this one up. Which means this 2 cannot connect to either of these. That is for sure. No dominoes means we also have to connect them here. Or disconnect them there. The 3 is now complete. This 2... This 2 can go left or up. No, it can't go up. Because up is down and that is... So it has to go to the left. This 2 is now blocked in all directions but right. No dominoes. Okay. All opposing edges are connected. First of all, we have to block this. No white squares. Myopia arrows. Hey, now we can't use that trick from before where... the edge tells us where the black piece is. Now we know that with going all the way around, we have to actually check every direction. With this four-way, we know that below is actually above, and there is a white cell here. So that means above it should also be a white cell, but there has to be a dark cell somewhere, so it must be here. And that's going to fill our myopia arrow. The two can't connect there. No white squares means we have to put a dark cell here. And this would make squares. Yeah, this is wild. All opposing edges. No 3 in a row and no... Okay, so these... No skips, I guess, with the black cells. They can't skip. Can't make 3 in a row. White cells, not sure where that's happening yet. Is it just... What's it going to be here? Is it... I see. There's a 3 in a row there we have to block. And here is another 3 in a row we have to block. Which means we have to then take care of the skips. No 3 in a row here, or here, or here. That has to be a light cell now. I think that has to be a light cell, so we don't want 3 in a row there. Can't do that. Ah, that's a skip across here, too. So I think it's just a pattern. We have this pattern going like this, and we're good. All light regions of area 2. So we know this must be a dark cell in between the light cells. What are we going to have now? All we know is area numbers. We don't know anything else. Opposing edges are connected. So these two must be different colors. Or the same color. They could be the same thing. I can block off this dark cell just fine. This is only a 2 difficulty? What's going on here? This 4 could be... Like, these could all be like this, and you could just be fine. That's wild. Light regions are area 2, though. So it would require me to do this. Which would require that. I'm just seeing what kind of patterns happen when I do this kind of stuff. I guess that's it. That's a really interesting puzzle. Alright, solved both of those. So now let's head back to the start, which is this way. I guessed correctly, and we'll start solving some logic grids, maybe some matchboxes. So first things first is this matchbox right here. So we got that symbol. That's the same one that was up on top of there. Do I need to have like the most pinpoint accuracy? I do. There to here. Amazing. This one was way out there. I'm not totally sure how I would ever solve this. There's got to be a secret, like, compartment to look through. Something's got to be happening there. We have some other symbols. Alright, let's just solve some logic grids here. Left and right edges are connected. No 2 dark areas have the same shape or size. Okay, so we have tetrominoes wrapping around. Okie dokie. Exactly 1 symbol per dark area. Even better. So we know these have to be blocked off. So this 4 could be an O shape. It can be a T shape. It can also be a T shape going this way, but it can't be the S shape going wrapping around the left here because it would connect to this 4. So it is either a T shape, or an O shape. This 4... Okay, it's just not wrapping around top to bottom. I was thinking, how do we do this? So this 4 must come out. It must be the I. That's the only thing we can do. And we have to block that off. So now we do, in fact, have the O piece here. This 4 cannot connect this direction. It's going to run into the 4 here. But this one does have to come out, and it can't connect over here. No, hold on. It doesn't have to come out that way. It can come out to the left. But this 4... must connect to this dark cell at its lower right, so the 4 down here can't possibly... I don't know why it's a domino here instead of just 2 separate cells. That's weird. Anyway, it's going to have to escape this way, so it's going to be the S piece going down here. This 4 must now come up and around. That's the L piece, so our T piece is at the top. Wild! This stuff is great. Kudos. Edge left and right edges are connected. So that means there must be a light cell somewhere in here and going the other way. It could just be this one. That would be one way to do it, but that feels wrong. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, the 10, I think, just needs to be completely filled in, right? Now, is it a dark cell or a light cell? What's the difference? Ah, that's right, because the myopia arrow, so it is a dark cell. Right, because I should have done this first. This has to happen. I'm impressed they also figured out a way to see the cells without accidentally looping around and making this infinite. That's pretty good. Okay, so we have a dark cell 2 spaces to the left of this myopia arrow, which means nothing. Because there still could be light cells like that. Oh, wait, hold on. How does that block off the 9? Oh, my control button doesn't show me how many spaces the 9 is seeing. Maybe it sees 5. Ah, it would see only 8. So these do have to be dark cells, which means, in fact, that we have to have this set up to see all 9 and for the myopia arrow to work, which means that we have to have... How far? It has to all be dark cells here. And now I got to worry about symmetry. Is that right? So symmetry first here and there. So these have to be symmetrical. Wait, rotational symmetry means... It just means this? Is that the center of rotational symmetry? Oh my gosh, because the center of rotational symmetry, it also wraps around. Oh my goodness. So what's happening here is that if you take this piece that's in the center and you were to like move this one over here, like, and just infinitely repeat it, this would in fact be the center of it. That is freaking wild. Alright, how about this? I keep hitting my microphone. Okay. 5 and the 7 aren't going to connect. We do wrap around still. The 2 has to connect in this way and stop here. Now the 5 isn't going to be the top left corner because it wraps around, so it must be this cross shape. The 7 isn't yet connected here, but it might. It can't connect to the 3. Any other... This is possible. It would require white cells here. We could also do it like that. Is there any way it doesn't connect to either of those? This is a possibility. This 7, if we connected it like so, we would have 6 connections, and any connection would overload? No, this way would not. Is this the correct thing, though? Because I could just connect this down, at which point that would overload. Ah, this would overload no matter what we do. Therefore, this is a light cell. We do have this going on. Is this it, or is that it? The 6 would overload here. This would force me to do something else. Okay, so hold on. The wrapping's tricky. So if I were to do this, we would have to block off this segment like so. Ooh, okay, so I think we have to block the 3 off here and then wrap around the 8. Wrap around the 6. Oh man, my brain is not ready for these. Left and right edges are connected. Connect all light cells. Okay, so if this was a dark cell, for instance, this would have to be a light cell, right? Because if it's a... Oh, only left and right. I was doing top and bottom as well. So let's start with this being a dark cell. that means this would also be a dark cell. That'd be a light cell. Now, if we did it the other way around, whatever we have, these have to be one alternating. So if I started it this way, this would have to be dark cell. These would both have to be dark cells. Because that would have to be dark cell. This would have to be dark cell. Have to do this. Which would mean... Oh, dear. Okay, so we'll start this way. It just doesn't seem like that actually solves my problem. This has to happen. Now this is pointing to the nearest. It could be pointing this way. But these now have to all be white. Okay, so what if we made that? Something's happening here that's funny. What if we start with this arrow here? So we know we have to point to a black cell, but it's gotta be there. Cause yeah, down it's gotta be like that. So this has got to be light as well, which means these are all light. Huh. Oh, because it's not pointing to any dark cells this direction. So no matter what, this is fine. This would force light cells. No matter what happens, this is all going to be the same, and this is going to be alternating. If we do this... Connect all light cells. Let's try this happening here. Okay, so this is dark and that's dark. No. What on earth? This is so confusing. What if this is dark instead of light? What if we try that instead? I guess this is it. Oh my gosh. Okay, why is that? So with the arrows, say this up arrow, we're not worried about what's behind it because we're only connecting left and right edges. But no matter what, the left edge of this one has to be the same color, but the right edge is over here. So no matter what, this entire row must be the same color. And then with this type of thing, we must alternate. Now here, I guess it just works out that way. Yeah, because there's this isolated black cell, so we would have to... Yeah. Well, I'm definitely not going to 100% this enclave in one video because, well, it's been about half an hour and I've barely got started here. Connect light and dark cells. Left and right edges are connected. Don't make the T shape anywhere, so it's all a single line. So if... This obviously is not going to work. I don't think that's going to be okay. Like, what if I started the A as being dark cells? Since left and right edges are connected, we would have to bring it out like so. Now, if B is a dark cell, it doesn't work because all dark cells are connected, so B would be forced to be light cells, and we would end up forcing these moves. This connects to here. So we probably would have this going on, and now we've connected across the gap in this way. We could do it like so. Yeah, this is how you do it. Wow, that's great. Left and right edges again. So 3 dark cells in this row, and since they connect, they're like so. Now, of course, symmetrically, we go across and wrap around, so this is still fine. This would not be an issue, maybe? This has to connect somewhere. So no matter what, if I go to this lower row and fill it in, I've only connected 6 to this 8. So it needs to go up at least once. Now, if we have this 2 as white, we would need 2 black cells in this row here. And no matter where I put them, I think we're going to end up making this asymmetrical. So I think this has to be dark. And then we need to only have 2 white cells in the row. So this is a white cell, which means... that can't be right, no matter what. This could be light. I guess we could only have 2, but where would they be? They could be here and here. Now this connects up through here, and then it just wraps around, and we have it completely. And then, yeah. This is a wild rule. So anyway, I can get these matchboxes. Where? So we need this sort of like angry face. We need to find. I know where the other one of this is. Just finding an angle is going to be a nightmare. And I have this like weird gender symbol there. Are there any more in this room, matchbox-wise? I know there's one up here. And there's one... ah, that's the angry face. So we just need to get a really good angle. How? Is there any way to see it? Do we get on top of like one of these and see if we can like snipe? This feels kind of like what you gotta do. That might be the intended method. Hard to say. Okay, yeah, this is what connects all the way in here. Good grief. That's not the symbol I see there. 2 star. You know what? I don't know if I'm ready for 2 stars. I might not be smart enough for 2 stars. So the purpose of warping me across the map and then up in the air, I guess it's to help me get to the pillar, but also there's those hard puzzles. And there's a glide rings course here. Fly through the rings. And then I see, then we're going to fly through. How many rings do we got? Then we got rings up here. There's a lot of rings on this one. Ooh. Hey. I got the gold on that one. Interesting. 4 stars. I do not feel ready for that. Anyway. I think I'll take it if I see this symbol. That means facing the opposite direction is where I came from. So that's how I remember how to get out of here. And then... so I guess the way these warps also work is they behave as if this is a wrapping location in all 4 directions. How about this? Okay, all opposing edges are connected. We have to start with this. We also cannot connect the 2s here. This white cell is going to connect over to the right. I have to remember that. The 4 could connect here or up here. It's fine. The 3 cannot be connecting there. Now what? Is this how we do it, or do we... if we were to take the 4 up here, now we have to block all of these. Right? And then what do we do with this 5? Holy crap, we'd have to... It does feel like I'm guessing, though. It does feel like I'm guessing. I don't want to do that. The 8... down here, the 3, one of these 2, but that's all I know. There's no rule about like every 1 symbol per area, so I could block off this white cell just fine. Actually, if I did block off this white cell, I would be forced to make this choice. And then the 7... hold on, let's just look at the 7 and the 5. 7 and the 5 have to be blocked off like this. Now, is there any way... the 7 could still come up through here. Yeah, it's harder to block things off because, well, this edge isn't an edge. This is connected to the 5. This connects the 6 altogether, for instance. Now, well, either this cell here is a dark cell or above is a dark cell, which means this has to be a light cell. If it was a dark cell, where would I put the 4? This has to be a light cell. But either one of these could happen. If this is a dark cell, the 8 has to come through there. That's fine. Now, if this is a dark cell, we end up forced to do this. And then we force the 7, and the 5 is forced up. The 7 is forced up, but not necessarily where the 5 is going. Like, we could have this going on. No, we could not have that going on. We would have... This, I think, just ends up being terrible, so I'm pretty sure this would be how to do it. Yeah. So I think we gotta just not do that. I could also count up the full number here because none of these connect to each other. 4, 5, 13, 20, 19, 22, 24, 29, 36. 6 by 6. Okay, so yes, if you count all these numbers up, 36 is the amount of squares. So everything does have to be part of something. This does have to connect to one of the numbers. This has to connect to one of the numbers. So if this was a dark cell, it'd be fine. This is a dark cell. This has to connect, and the only direction to connect is up, so we do have to have a white cell here. And then we have to block off the 4. 7 now is unable to go anywhere except it can go up here or up through there. This dark cell has to go down. And then it could connect through here. No, because the 8 has to go either there or there. So regardless of that, the dark cell has to move out this way. Like, I could still do this. Then the 7 would... Oh, no. Okay, I can't do that. So that's a dark cell. So the 7 comes up this way. About 6 of them. Can't move up anywhere there. So this is how we make the 7 finish. The 5 is also finished. The 6 is finished because it's connecting here. There we go. Oh. Puzzle. Left and right edges are connected. So this one, it's got to be a dark cell because we got to be symmetrical here. That was the only easy one. Exactly one symbol per light area. Okay, so that means all the light areas have to connect. This would make things tricky because this light cell would have a hard time getting anywhere. Ah, that's an automatic no, apparently. Because it would connect us here. So that's got to be a dark cell, which means that's also a dark cell. No easy ones there. Just looking for easy pot shots. Nope. Okay. I have a feeling that's a light cell. I just have a feeling it is. This can be a light cell easy. If it isn't, then how does this light cell connect? It would have to go through here. And then it couldn't connect this way. It couldn't connect up here. So I'm pretty sure this has to be a light cell. Really no getting around that. So this is probably going to move down, wrapping around to catch these. There, I think I've caught them all. I have not. Exactly one symbol per light area. This comes down. Oh, only left and right edges are connected. You big dummy. No. Only left and right edges. I thought it was all of them. So now... Well... This has got to be a dark cell. That's a dark cell. If these connect, then these have to be dark cells. So how do I get this one? Who are you connecting to? So I do think we have to do this, but then how do I get those cells here? Ah, that's how you do it. You wrap around the top this way. That is so scary. I'm scared. Where am I? Left and right edges, no branching paths, connecting all dark cells in light regions of area 3. So this could be a light region. That could be a light region. Whoa. What if I started with this? Okay, this is just guesswork. Over here, we'd have to come out this way. No, that's not going to be how it goes. It can come through here. Nah, no. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a light cell now. Okay, there it is. That's an interesting little pattern. Okay, where are you going to? Where are you going to? Where are you all going? How am I going to get that one? Oh man, where do I even begin with this? Hold on, that's on the other side of this. Do I have to do some warp? Like, hold on, do I have to do... I missed. Yeah! Oh, you have to warp through it. You have to grab it with a warp. That is one. Okay, is that how I do the one over here? But there's no warp in the rooms over here. Right? So to catch this one, like, there's no angle through. So maybe there's a warp spot that takes me back here. There's a glide rings, though. Oh, oh. You gotta go through here, then through. Hold on. Is this a case where we have to jump? How do I hold on to this while flying through the rings? I got it. Hold on. Hold on. This is wild. Watch. Okay, we're going to do this glide ring. We're going to do it again. We're going to glide through the rings. We're going to grab this piece, and then we're going to restart while I'm holding the clicking button down. Haha! That is Devious. Now it says solve all 12 matchboxes. That's not going to happen anytime soon. There's one more glide ring. So let me take care of these logic grids first. All opposing edges are connected, so that means these can... This would be pretty wild, but I think that's just the pattern. Interesting that I just happened to see it in one go. Okay. No squares means this can't be a dark cell. No squares or checkerboards. Don't make that. And then connect all light and dark cells. So this light cell is surrounded on 3 sides, so it has to move up. Now, these are fine. That makes a checkerboard. So yeah, okay, we have to do this. This is connected to the one at the top corner. So this can't be because that makes a square. This makes a square. We don't want a checkerboard. We don't want a square. Now, this connection here is fine. Either way is good so far. This can't be dark cell because it makes a square over here. That makes a checkerboard, so we don't want to do it. We have another checkerboard potential here. We also have checkerboard potential there and here. So, either one of these is fine. Don't know yet what we need. Okay, I was just guessing. Alright, if this is a light cell, we would have to have a dark cell there and a light cell there. And then dark cells. They all should be connected, though, so we'd have a square. So what's the trick here, since I have to connect these all? If these are light cells, we're in trouble. So we can't have a light cell here. It can't be, because then we have a square or we block things off. So that's got to be a dark cell. That's got to be a light cell, for sure. Now, we can't have this because it makes a square. That also makes a square. That makes a checkerboard. So now, okay, that's how we do it. That is a weird puzzle. In a good way. What if you just do this? Okay, that's it. All opposing edges. Exactly one symbol per light area. Now, I need to rotational symmetry here. That makes all 5, so I need to now block off every single area. One symbol per light area, but not dark area. So this 2 cannot connect to the left because it would overload. It also cannot connect down because it would overload. So it must be up or right. This. One symbol per light area. This is being blocked on 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. So it has to come out, which means that we have to also do this. Cool. So this connects upward, which means it also has to connect down, right? It has to connect downward. So far this is rotationally symmetrical. The upward won't work here. So then, yep. This also has to be a dark cell right there. That's going to be a dark cell. That can't be a light cell because where would it go on the other side? Is there anywhere else this can't be? This can't continue down. This also can't continue down here. So I think we've blocked off everything there. Nope. This has to move one more. Because of this piece connecting through here up to there. It has to connect there. Does it have to connect this way as well? No, we don't know yet. Can't connect to this 9. This must be light so we don't overload the 4. These have to connect somewhere. So this has to connect up this direction. And I believe it's going to connect to the 9. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this is how we're going to do it. Yep. Awesome. Did everything on top here. How about you for glide rings? This looks like we got to take advantage of the warp spots. But how? Are you kidding me with this? Okay. So if I take advantage of the warp spots, and I can go through these corners, and then warp here, take advantage of these corners. No! I touched the ground. Fail. Let's warp. No! No. That's not what I wanted to do. I already did both of those rings? No. Here we go. Okay, 2 more rings. I think. The right to the left. To the right. Did it. Awesome. So now I just got to solve... Well, actually, that was a bonus thing. I just got to solve 3 more logic grids, and I'm going to prioritize ones that look easy. So here we go. Left and right edges only. So not all 4, just left and right. No squares. So that's an easy... That's a gimme there. Connect all dark cells. This can connect to the right. I'm not super worried. But this can't connect downward. It does have to connect this direction. And then, in fact, this does have to come out this way. Is this a light or dark cell? I don't know yet. Now, one of these two's got to be a dark cell. If they don't connect, we definitely have to have dark cells like this. These light cells could connect. This would be a problem because there's nowhere to go. So we do have to block off the squares here. We have to block off the squares there and there. Can't have a square in this case. Light cells must connect, so there we go. All opposing edges, same rules. So now this dark cell actually does have multiple routes of escape. So we have to block this off. Looks like the grid is a slightly different size. That's still blocked off everywhere, so we do have to block the squares here from happening. Can't make a checkerboard because of the rules here. That would be blocked. Okay. Connect all light cells and all dark cells means we can't have checkerboards. So that much for sure I gotta worry about. This can't be a dark cell, so we have to block off the squares. We have to block off the checkerboards, and now this would make a square, so we can't do that. We have to block off the checkerboard here, and the square, and the square there. We don't want checkerboards. This makes one, so we have to block off that. Now this would make a square, so we do have to block it. We can have a checkerboard here? Oh, the checkerboard rule doesn't matter anymore because the world wraps around. So now I can't use... That's why I'm struggling. You don't use the checkerboard rule anymore because you can wrap around. So the reason the checkerboard doesn't work is when there's no wrapping or whatever. Okay, so I can't take that. But I do know this has to happen. We have to block the squares. One of these two's got to be white. Is this? Yeah, this has to be blocked. Now, this must be. So we have to block the squares in this regard. So this is fine. So is there any other square potential? Here must be a dark cell. That's for sure. Now that must be a light cell, so we definitely have a checkerboard here. And we have to block the square in this case. That's got to be up. That blocks off light cells. Yes, we can't do that. That is so interesting. Any other, like, yeah, just, I'm not going for the star puzzles yet. All opposing edges are connected. So we definitely have to do this. 0. So whatever color this is, it's all one color. No? All numbers are off by 1. Gah! Okay, so there is exactly 1 here. So let's say this is white. That works. If this is white, what if that one's dark? How is this it's off by 1, it can be a 4. Oh, good grief. That's got to be light. Yeah. Okay. So if this was a dark cell, these would all be dark cells. So this must be a light cell. There's 1 dark cell somewhere here. Could be there. Could be there. Who knows? Now, if this was a light cell, we'd have to have a light cell here. One of these two is a light cell for sure, so there definitely is at least 1 light cell there. I could do both like this, just fine. This has to be a 2. No matter what, this works out just fine. If this is a dark cell, I would need to see 2. If this is a light cell, I need to see 2. So these are both the same color, no matter what I do, right? Nah, no matter what, this is a light cell. So if this is a light cell, we would have to do that. Ah, so it's not a light cell. That's a dark cell. If this is a dark cell, then that is. Ah. So, by process of elimination, that's a light cell. That has to be a light cell now. Wait, why does that not work? Because it connects over there. This connects over here. Oh dear. So now this connects over here. And it has to connect up like this. Oh my goodness. I don't know if this... Then this has to be it. So this has to be like this. That has to be a dark cell, so this has to be a dark cell. Okay, that was really confusing. But I did it, and that's all that matters. So we've solved the enclave. Now, we have not done all the puzzles in the enclave, nor will I do all the puzzles right now. But we've at least taken care of the main quest line. I have to say, I think my favorite was this particular matchbox because it required like solving the glide rings and doing a very strategic restart. That is so brilliant. Don't know what that one's going to yet. Dang. This is a good game, y'all. Despite some of my complaints, but you know, they didn't put the really terrible puzzles in there. It's not like Morphic Fractals or anything. They actually put good puzzles in. Let's see how this works now. I'm gonna use a foresight. I'm gonna use foresight just to see how it works. Nice. So if I use a foresight, yeah, it only takes half. Nice. And hopefully that's louder so you can really hear the music puzzles. Sweet. I do just a really quick look through. I've been told that the puzzle finder object that they make, I don't think I'm going to get it here, actually. I don't think it's going to show up. There's that puzzle finder or whatever that's supposed to, like, guide you to puzzles that you haven't solved yet. Hey, glide rings, I should do it. See, yeah, the UI is still there. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Anyway, the items that are supposed to tell you, you know, guide you to puzzles you haven't solved yet, I don't know what they look like, but supposedly they are easy to find. How many glide rings have been loaded today? 5. Wow. I'm just grabbing them because they're normally hard to find, so I want to get them when I see them. Although this video has gone on for a while. Yeah, like, even from far away, you'll recognize that there's an item that is going to be helpful to you. But I've also been told by, you know, the developer kind of giving more details that this item doesn't really show up till you've solved quite a bit of the puzzles already, because it would be useless when you first start, because every puzzle's unsolved. So it really only starts showing up once you've solved a great deal of puzzles, at which point it only one per area is going to show up, and then where's the other rings? There. So I doubt it's going to show up here simply because I haven't solved a ton of puzzles in Lucent Waters. I've probably solved, I forget the number. There's a percentage I count on the save stats. I think the most is in Verdant Glen, where I've solved about 25% of them. Actually, let me head over to Verdant Glen and see if I can find the new item. But I won't spend too long because this video's main purpose has been achieved, which is getting the new enclave. So I'm just going to look around, see if there's anything I can see that looks very different. And if so, I will do that. Or if I find glide rings, those could be helpful. I just did 3 of them. I wonder how many loaded in here. 3, yeah. So either I got really lucky, or this new version of the offline restored mod is like, hey, we're going to load in puzzles that you haven't seen yet, and glide rings we haven't seen a lot. So we're just gonna do a quick zoop by around here. I probably haven't solved enough puzzles in this area to start generating those puzzle radar finder things, because I think 30% is kind of the threshold, and I haven't solved 30% anywhere. I've solved about 5,000 puzzles total, and there's 20,000 in the game. Roughly. There's around that much. Yeah, glide rings time. This is going to be an interesting little thing. There. Okay, that's 1 out of 3. Probably not going to find the other 3. What the? Why did it take the middle charge? What the heck is this? This is new! Over here. At the waterfall. Where? Lost Grids Cluster. That's where they are. 364? Ah! Ah! This game is great. I'm very happy to see it get updates, but it does mean that this video series is going to be even longer. Alright, let me set that down. I'm not doing these right now. It has been about 70 minutes of recording. I have to take a break from this and potentially do the work that I'm being paid to do, and by that I mean being paid to do this instead of my work because I'm procrastinating. So I'm going to stop here. This has been super exciting for me. I hope it's been exciting for you. I know watching somebody solve puzzles, you have to be as autistic as me or even more, but I very much appreciate both of my fans for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.